take it. Here comes back. Here comes back. 2 white guys and a microphone.
Here we go. Episode 18.
Jeez.
The Ed and Tom Show. I'm Tommy T.
I'm Eddie Rock. How you doing, Tommy?
I'm just ready to get this show underway, dude.
God, we've been fucking around way too long tonight without getting some shit laid down. We've had.
Oh, but it's been fun, though, dude.
It has been fun.
A lot of things have happened in the last couple hours.
God, yeah.
It's been fucking pretty funny.
I would say that there's been a new measure of ineptitude brought in. Our show is completely unfucking professional. Matter of fact, watch this, Tom. It's about time I brought up the fucking lights.
Pyro!
Yeah, there we go. just like the WrestleMania this weekend.
But hey, I told it to you earlier in the week. I was like, hey, a new slogan for the show.
Oh, yeah.
The show about everything, but ultimately it's about fucking nothing.
About nothing.
And very unprofessional.
Is that almost a Seinfeld ripoff, though?
I don't know. I never watched a lot of Seinfeld.
Oh, you didn't? That last time that we were in combat, when years ago, I ended up watching the entire Seinfeld from beginning to end, with the exception of the very last episode. I watched.
That happened with me in the show Lost. Watched every fucking episode, then I just refused to watch the last episode. But then it was almost like a year and a half later, I went and watched it.
I remember you got like crack cocaine on it. And I remember the exact night, and I was like, dude, you've never seen Lost? You're like, no. I was like, you got to check this shit out.
Yeah.
And I gave it to you. You turned it on. And I think about 9 hours later, you finally blinked. You were like, you fucked me.
That was such a great show. Such a great show. And then I just didn't want it to end. And then finally watching the last episode, and I'm like, fuck this.
Can you guess the parallels between that show and this show? You can. I'll clue you in, because I just made this up. One, you just said that was a great show.
It is a great show.
Unlike this one.
I didn't say unlike this one.
No, I did.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. I'm drawing the parallels.
Oh, yeah.
And then the other one would
That's
be...
not parallel.
Well, I'm drawing conclusions. I'm drawing picture analogies.
Okay.
So that's a great show unlike this one. And then the other one I was going to say is, we're very much like that show, Lost.
Oh.
Most of the time.
If I don't want to be found.
If this is Lost, I don't want to be found. So what's the good word, man? What have you been up to this week? I have not seen you a whole lot or talked to you a whole lot.
No, just getting excited for opening day of baseball.
That did happen.
Yeah, that happened. And the national championship for college basketball was tonight as well.
That did happen.
And my San Francisco Giants, right here, we fucking thoroughly kicked the shit out of the Brewers today. Put on a fucking slugfest, if you will.
I just love
awesome.
how excited you are to root for your team that you switched to right after they won the World Series 2 years ago.
No, before they did.
What was it? It was during that season, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
About 3 years too late.
Yeah.
But I went back to my original love, which we talked about fucking probably episode 3 or 4 of this fucking show.
Yeah. I just want to bring that back. I mean,
how'd your fucking Mariners do, Ed?
I haven't even had a chance to look yet.
You lost to the Rangers 4-3.
I don't prepare very well.
But anyway, opening baseball season. I'm excited. Game 1, we won it. Now, 160 more games to go?
Is it 162 or 181?
I think it's 162, I think.
Yeah, it's a lot.
But I'll find out. I'm in a fantasy baseball league with one of our listeners, Matt Thompson, in Northern California.
You're doing a fantasy baseball league?
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
That is a fucking full-time job right there, buddy.
I'm probably not going to do very well.
Why not?
But because it is, you got to fucking change your lineup like every day.
Can't you just like bite on like Matthew Berry or something? Does he still do a baseball show?
There's a roto pass for it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think at one time he used to do a full-on...
He plugs it quite a bit on his podcast about, hey, fucking fantasy wire or roto wire baseball, shit like that.
If there was a way for us to get paid on our show, I would also plug it. But I get that question a lot, and I don't know if you do when I'm talking about the show to friends or people I meet or complete strangers, because I'm just trying to schlep our way into some new listeners.
Yeah.
That's one of the big questions. Hey, do you guys get paid for this? And, you know, we've talked about this before on the show, and I honestly believe that that's the way that we stay as long as we can.
Unless you fucking come throwing money at us.
Yeah, and I mean, then we just turn into dirty little whores, and we'll do whatever you want. We'll just fucking sell our soul.
No,
we wouldn't. We're men of integrity.
You're gonna pay us, and we're not gonna change anything about us.
Yes.
Look at what fucking all those guys do on fucking Syndicate Radio.
Matter of
They
seconds.
do whatever they fucking want.
Matter of seconds, I was able to fucking sell out just that quick.
He's like, yep, okay, we're now a Christian talk radio show.
I would like to, first
Jesus loves the little children.
all the children in the world.
I'm sure he does, but no, we ain't going that route. And I'm pretty sure we're not getting money thrown at us anytime at all.
No, we're not. I always like that people think that we should get paid for it, and I don't think that we should.
Like, people have come up to my sister, Misty, one of our guests we've had in previous, have asked, I didn't know your brother was a professional radio host. And Shree's like, Misty is like, he's not. I'm like, don't tell people that.
Well, in Idaho,
I'm probably royalty.
You're probably a big deal because what the fuck else has come out of there except for potatoes? Exactly.
You just stole my thunder for when we talk about football.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even look. Did I really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. There is somebody coming out of Boise State that's possibly a number 1 draft pick, but we'll talk to him later.
Boise State is something that's good out of
McDonald's French fries.
And McDonald's French fries.
And every time you go to the produce section, potatoes.
Yeah.
Potatoes. I love potatoes.
So you're from Idaho.
Yes, I am.
I'm from Washington.
Yes, you are.
And 90% of our listeners are from California.
Well, I spent a very large amount of time growing up in California.
Caravaned with your sisters that you showered with.
Just jipping it up. I never
jipping
showered my sisters, you faggot.
You did.
I did it again!
See, you always want to drop such.
Chano even mentioned it. He's like, you know what? He's like, I know you're going to get so fired up and you're going to call somebody that word that you say you don't want to say anymore.
What word?
That one I just said.
You just said it.
I'm not going to say it again. I'm trying to strike it from my vernacular.
Are you trying?
Yes.
You're not trying very hard.
Well, it's one of my Tourette's things.
But it's also one of those words I just bring out in you. Every time.
So yes, Chano's like, I know it's coming. Every time you get fired up, I was like, he's done this to me a million times, and I'm just waiting for Ed to take it. So I'm like, sorry, I'm trying to strike that word from my vernacular.
I do want to bring up something. So last week, I completely fucked up and ruined our public service announcement.
Oh.
So I went ahead and we talked about it, and you maybe had an significant emotional reaction to the fact that I didn't have it done.
Yes, because showed a little bit of incompetence.
It may have. And so what I did was recorded it. I sent it to you. You dropped it and listened to it. And I listened to it, and I was like, I drew my own conclusion. So then I went down and I was like, hey, Kate, I know you can't fucking stand Tom or me, for that matter. But will you do me a favor and just listen to this one PSA for me and let me know what you think?
What does her can't standing me have anything to do with just listening to you talk?
Because it's the Tom or the Ed and Tom show. So anything that has to do with our show, she can't fucking stomach. She can't stomach.
I thought you were just telling whenever. Oh, my wife can't stand you. By the way.
It's also true. But I wasn't going to tell him, but thanks for telling him, so I don't have to. So
you just said it.
Okay, there you go.
Anyway, the PSA was a little flat.
And that was like, so Kate listened to it, and she's like, it was fine, but it was missing Tom. And I said, it's exactly what I thought. There's something about your little sissified giggle in the background, and your chuckles and your interruptions and all of your stupidity.
Well, that's what makes our show. I'm not saying that me doing that, but the way
you're right. It's
what you bring out on me is part of the show.
I've brought it out of you many times. So I want to apologize to our fans for that. And
yes, it will never happen again. If we can't do a PSA during the show, there just won't be one. And that's how much we care about the PSA.
And I think that needs to be something that we need to breach as well. There could be a week, there could be a time where we don't have one because of the energy it puts into and busy lives and things like that. So I think when that does happen, when that eventuality does happen, we will announce that at the beginning of the show, just saying, hey, there is not going to be a PSA this week.
And we'll just watch our downloads go.
Yeah.
But guess what? We'll still do a show.
Yeah, so the 6 downloads will go back to 4. And
I'll just
we'll
stop
be
downloading.
good from there. So maybe we stop the self-deprecation. But it's just so natural to me.
Yeah.
And speaking of self-deprecation,
Self-deprecation.
we have a new friend of the show, and we're going to get an opportunity to meet him.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait, dude.
This
is
week.
going to be awesome.
So did I mention it last week on the show?
No, we didn't talk about
I haven't
it.
talked about it at all. Okay, so Jason, you remember Jason, crazy fucking cousin?
Yeah,
cousin.
Jason's a good dude.
Jason's
Crazy as fuck, but good dude.
Yeah, scary. Damon loves him. We've talked about that. So
a special kind.
He hooked me up with a friend of his, and he's like, "Hey, dude, I got a friend coming out to Hawaii. I need you to take care of him." I said, "Hey, no problem. What do you need?" I was like, "Is he good?" He's like, "No, he's good." I was like, "Do you vouch for him?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Then that's all that needs to be said."
Fam.
There's people like you, like Brent at Trusomas, and Jason at Jason Madkins, that if you call me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you say, "Hey, I got somebody coming your way and I need you to take care of them," done deal. They're family. And so the guy that he asked me to take care of is a guy by the name of Eddie Zandici.
Eddie Z.
So Eddie, and I know he's a comedian, but he's more than that. He's also an actor
And writer.
and a writer and a producer. So he's one of those guys that's all over the place, and a musician. We can't leave that.
Oh,
out.
yeah.
And so he's coming to town this week, and he's going to be at the Mars Comedy Club at 7 o'clock on Saturday night, downtown Honolulu.
Yeah, yes.
And we're going to be there.
Yes, we are.
We're going to be there.
Come
And-
hell or high water, we're going to see Eddie Z on stage.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And for those that don't know Eddie, I think it's the one that I think it's worth telling the story of why they're coming here. So much like us, they like to take guy trips. And he has friends that are also comedians, and one of them has a cooking show. Another one has a radio show, and so these guys are all, doing very well on their own. But they like to get together and do trips and go on those types of adventures together, like we do. And so they decided they all had an opportunity. There was a time on the calendar they could get away, and so they decided Honolulu was the place that they wanted to come party. And they said, "Well, fuck, as long as we're all together, let's do a show. Let's do a one-night show, fucking party it off, get us some beer money, and we'll just fucking throw that money right back into hanging out in Hawaii and having fun as a group of bros," which is awesome. And so that's what they're going to do. They're going to perform one night, and that's going to be Saturday night, so we'll be able to get out and check him out and support him.
Partying with the Eddie Z clan, huh?
So there's some more stuff. I got a chance to talk to him on the phone last night for about 45 minutes or so and get to know him. And it was just some really, really cool stories and some things that I'll kind of share throughout the show as we go tonight. But I think you may have pulled up, is that some information?
It's the the webpage about the show. So headlining the show is Lucas Seeley. And then it mentions the Seattle comics, Jose Bolanos, Eddie Z.
Eddie Z.
Never really
Zandici.
I
don't know.
I want to say Zanadachi, but looks Zandici.
You know, it's something about literacy that you struggle with, and I get that, but I accept you for who you are.
That was fucking mean and nice all at the same time. So thank you and fuck you.
You're welcome.
And then Anthony. Why do these guys have to have fucking hard names to say?
It sounded out. Clap
Anthony Negrelli, Negrelli, and Jonathan Yabes or Yabbies.
it out. Okay.
Okay, sorry. And then Jeremy Castillo.
There you go.
Castillo. See?
We need Eric here.
Why can't we have fucking normal names? But I'm sure they're funny dudes, and we'll fucking find out how their names are pronounced Saturday at the Mars Club.
He told me that there's no way, he said it is impossible, because of the chemistry that they have, that you could come to this show and not enjoy yourself. And
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure they feed off of each other.
And
quite well.
he made this guarantee to us, and I'm not putting this guarantee out for other people, but a guarantee to us. He says, if you came there and did not enjoy yourself, he said, I'll give you your money back and buy you a drink.
Oh.
He's like, I guarantee you're going to have fun. So out of his own mouth, I told him, I said, regardless, I said, we'll come there and buy you a drink because we appreciate you coming and what you
definitely.
do.
Fuck yeah.
And hopefully,
Gotta take care of him.
if we get a chance, maybe we'll get a couple sound bites for him, or maybe we can get him on the show, do something with him.
Maybe a couple videos we can throw up on YouTube or Twitter.
Yeah, you know what? We could put up another non-viewed video on YouTube and promote him that way.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. But yeah, it was a great time chatting with him, talking it up. So Eddie, we'll see you on Saturday, and look forward to meeting you and your entire crew. And like I told you, you come to town, we got you. Yes. I mean, you're family. You're made. You can come to the house if you need to. If you need something, if you break down, if you got a flat tire, you need a ride, need a fresh pair of underwear, whatever it is, we got you.
You got to get your hands dirty to bury the body.
Yeah, sometimes. It's a fucking thunder thief. Foreshadowing.
But yes, 6:30. Mars Club.
6:30?
6:30, Mars Club.
Is that when the doors open?
It just says Saturday, April 9th, 6:30, Honolulu.
Okay.
Mars Comedy Club in Hawaiian Brian's.
Okay. So it's right down by the Ala Moana Mall.
It's on Kapiolana Boulevard, so one of the main boulevards downtown.
Yeah. So if you're a local listener, you need to be there. If you're not, then you need to go out to a website. It's www.e as in Eddie, Z as in Zendici, ezcomedy.com, and that's his webpage, and you can see some stuff that he's done.
Pretty funny dude.
Him and Little Dwayne, which is one of his characters that he does. Yeah. All right, so should we get into this week's show, or just
yes?
I'm enjoying this.
College basketball has come to a close, Edward.
Just tonight.
Holy shit! Just the Final Four. Nothing really big to talk about other than Oklahoma getting its ass fucking stomped by Villanova this weekend. It wasn't even a show. I watched like 10 minutes of it and was like, I feel sorry for the Sooners. Fucking Villanova destroyed them from the get-go. And then North Carolina beat Syracuse in a nice whooping. So Final Four, you could have fucking missed it and you wouldn't have missed nothing.
Thank you. I did.
Tonight.
It just happened.
The fucking championship game for the Natty. Villanova, North Carolina. One of the best games that college basketball has ever seen. So
that was the style and fashion, and I mean everybody that's listening to this has probably seen it.
Yeah.
But the style and fashion that the last, I would say, 5 seconds.
Yeah, last 5 seconds of the game, it was just
fucking
epic 3-point made to tie by North Carolina.
I love the face. You know the memes that are going around with Michael Jordan crying.
Yeah.
And then
I hate that meme though.
Because I realized what that meme meant.
Yeah.
You know, that was raw emotion, but it's out there.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be another one. It's probably already out there.
Oh, I'm sure.
Michael Jordan cheering as North Carolina nails a 3 to tie it with 4.9 seconds.
4.9. Then they call timeout. 4.7. Yeah.
So that's going to be on a meme, probably side by side.
Yeah.
Because they never panned back to him in the crowd as Villanova comes down and fucking just drops one.
And Kenny Smith, as soon as that, he's an announcer on the side, and he can't even contain his enthusiasm as they hit that 3 to tie it. He gets up, being a Tar Heel himself, fucking just pumping his fist, yeah, screaming, and they never go back to him because 4.7 seconds left. Villanova point guard drives the court, tosses it to homeboy, fucking 3-point. Dishes are done.
Game.
Nova Wildcats, NCAA champions.
I grew up playing sports, and I was nothing like that. I'm talking like little fucking baby stuff, right?
Yeah.
But watching him do that, and just knowing that he was taking that shot, and all the fucking marbles in the world that this guy has worked his entire life towards, rested on that shot that he was about to take. And it gave me a stomach ache just putting myself in his position and knowing how painful that would be had that missed.
Yeah.
And I didn't really care who won because I didn't pick a national champion in our bracket.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, I'm so grateful that kid did not miss because I would hate to be that.
But now he has something to talk about for the rest of his life.
For the rest, that cannot be taken away from him.
Yeah, he could go undrafted, not play a fucking minute in the NBA. He will have that.
Done.
So congratulations to Villanova. And congratulations to Chano. Chano wins our bracket, our bracket pool.
Hold on. So the Mexican guy, the Mexican Star Wars inbred fuckstick, Chano, I take fucking pictures with guns in my hand. Chano, I lay fucking naked with my dick out and a fucking weapon in my hand. Wins our fantasy
Yeah, he also won one that he actually paid money for. He actually won money there in Tennessee. But he's eventually he's going to get it right because he picks Villanova to win every year. Every year picks Villanova to win. So this year he fucking got it right.
Is that his team?
Kinda. I don't think he's ever been to fucking Pennsylvania. But
is that where Villanova is?
Yeah. I don't think he's ever been. I think he just likes the word Nova.
Right.
And so he's, I'm a fucking Nova fan.
You know why? Living the stereotype. Nova, Impala, El Camino.
Pinto. His mom did drive a Pinto when we were growing up, excuse me.
Oh, what a shit stick.
Congratulations, Shauna.
Yeah, good job. Good job, dude. No, I appreciate everybody that played, and I think you're going to give a quick rundown here.
Yeah, we got Chano, Brent, Ryan Hubbard, Mitch, Jeff Munley, myself, then you.
So it's like sixth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you beat me by one spot.
Yep.
God damn it. Good job, Tom.
You're welcome.
Good job. Congratulations.
You are very welcome.
Yeah, thanks.
So one time you
did it.
Mm-hmm.
So
now we can put this fucking bitch to bed. No more college basketball. Now we got nothing to talk about except for the beginning of the season baseball.
Should we have a snack? Should we have a snack?
We got nothing back on that, by the way.
Yeah, I thought that was fucking comedy gold.
It was hilarious.
You know, we have a snack. We don't talk to each other. we get our fucking our minds right, yeah. And then we move on and nothing. Whatever. It's fun.
And one more basketball thing, and then I'm done.
Okay.
NBA playoff start the 16th of this month. So we can talk about NBA playoffs. So we got that. That's about the most exciting thing we have until the draft.
I will probably be involved in some NBA playoffs. I do enjoy the NBA playoffs.
Yeah, that's one of the most exciting things about sports is the NBA playoffs and then the finals. So
I don't know if I would say it's one of the most exciting things about sports.
This time of year?
This time of year.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Because you're forced to have nothing else.
Yeah, and you've got now you don't have to watch the Lakers play. You don't have to watch the fucking Suns play. My favorite team. Good God, it was horrible watching them play this year. You don't have to watch these teams. Now you have the supposed best of the best playing the best of the best, and then you get what comes out of that is some of the best basketball played. And I love the NBA playoffs.
And it's so if you look at the contrast of, go back 10, 15 years with, when you had Latrell Sprewell, when you had...
Damn, you're going way back.
Meta World Peace. And
Meta World Peace was a dumbass.
There was a lot of guys during that era, that generation, that were a dumbass. And
back then, he was Ron Artest.
Right. But he was a dumbass.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that really drove me away from basketball was that kind of douchebaggery. And it wasn't fun. It was all attitude. It was all cockiness. It was all arrogance. And when you talk about the guys that are doing it now, whether you're talking about the King James or you're talking about Steph Curry or Thompson or you're talking about
KD,
Kevin Durant,
James Harden,
you have the whole mentality's changed. There's so many more humble players. There's so many folks that it truly seems like they understand the opportunity that they have, and they don't take it for granted. And it's the big stars that you see setting that example. And that's one of the things that I thought has been so great about basketball probably the last 4 or 5 years, how that there's been that shift and change in the mentality.
Yeah, I mean, we now live in that highlight. Everyone's trying to make a highlight reel, and these guys have made that highlight reel work for them, and that's how they're making all their fucking money is highlights. But not a lot of defense played now.
Hold on, I got a cramp. Jesus Christ, I got a fucking cramp right in the middle of a fucking show. Ah!
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I got a fucking cramp in my leg.
Midol?
Oh, when we talk about fitness, I'll talk about the miles I've been putting in, and I just fucking had a cramp.
Well, don't you fucking... You need a fucking tampon?
It wasn't in my tum-tum. It was on my hammy.
I didn't say anything about your tum-tum. I was talking about your vag.
Oh.
Anyway, UFC. Only thing we need to bring up, we still have that fight night with Rothwell and Dos Santos. That's the next thing. But UFC 197, some big news is...
Yeah, so I've been meaning to ask you,
Daniel Cormier, the heavyweight champion, or light heavyweight champion, hurt his leg. He got a boo-boo. So guess what? James Jones comes out and says, hey.
Who? John
Jones, excuse me. John Jones comes out. Jones says, he puts a little video out on Twitter and says, hey, my trainers don't like to take, you know how where me and my trainers stand, we don't like to take last minute fights, but with recent events and stuff like that I've been going through, I owe it to the fans to fight. So whoever you put in front of me, I will fight. So UFC puts OSP, Ovin St. Pro, in front of him to fight. So that fight, we will still see John Jones fight, but it will not be for the belt.
And I don't... So, as a John Jones fan, although I think that in the video with him and Cormier, I think he kind of looked like an asshole.
And that's what Daniel Cormier brings out in him,
right?
Is that fucking asshole.
And
that's why I like Daniel Cormier. I don't like Daniel Cormier as a fighter, but I like what he does for the sport. And I think we talked about that.
We did.
But
so John Jones got in some trouble.
Yeah.
So
fucking douchebag.
He's out drag racing and he gets arrested. It's a violation of parole and he gets thrown in jail. And I was wondering if Dana White was going to suspend him, or if there was going to be. I mean, in the NFL, he probably would have been suspended, but that's a lot of fucking money. Mm-hmm. And by him taking this fight, to me, almost seems like, hey, all the thing in what he said, all the things I've been going through. I owe this to the fans. You got to wonder how much fucking money he lost when he got kicked out, when he lost his belt, when he got stripped. How much fucking money he lost. So does he owe it to his fans?
I think he lost his Reebok fucking deal too. Well,
right.
Because he had the commercials, and I think that went away.
So does he owe it to the fans, or is he taking this fight that goes against all of his principles, all of his morals, and what he has said for the money? Does he owe it to his bank account?
It could be that, or he's fucking very, very desperate for just to be on the screen. Hey, I've been away for too long. I'll fucking fight anybody. And this, I'm not saying he's gonna lose, but it has a recipe for being not very good for him. Because this dude is not a slouch, but he hasn't really had that big name fighter in front of him. And the ones that kind of have been, he's lost to. And I'm talking about OSP.
Let's not forget, John Jones is a fucking monster.
He is a bad motherfucker. He should be undefeated.
He hasn't been there for a while, so it's easy to forget. But he has destroyed everybody. Mm-hmm. He has just been a monster in the octagon. So as long as 3/4 of what he had comes back, I think we'll see him being successful. It's just a matter of so maybe a tune-up fight is good. I would rather see him go for his title and take that back, but maybe a tune-up fight is okay to get him ready.
And I hope OSP looks at it as, hey, I'm not a fucking tune-up, so he's going to bring his fucking A+ game, and I would not be mad to see John Jones get knocked out. I mean, I like him as a fighter. He was, when I have said it multiple times, when GSP finally hangs it up, John Jones will be my favorite fighter. But then ever since all the shit that he's done, no more. Yeah. He will not be my favorite fighter. So it will not make me mad to see John Jones get knocked out.
No.
But
I don't think it will.
He is good for the sport.
I don't think he will.
No. Put a gentleman's bet on it?
Let's do it. What do you want to do?
Nothing big. It's OSP. I mean, the odds are in your favor. The odds are heavily in your favor.
Right. So what do you want to put on it? All right, well, we'll come back to that. We'll circle back around, but
come back to it.
We'll figure it out. All right. But I'm going to hold you to it, that it's happened.
It's happened.
It's happened. So we have it on video. It's archived. History forever. Done. He better win that fucking fight. So what's going on? So
football.
People at home can't see it, but right up that white.
This right here is a Kaepernick jersey.
Oh. The whole time I've seen this show on YouTube, I thought you had toilet paper hanging up there.
No.
It's a Kaepernick jersey.
That's what that is over there. Nope. Toilet paper.
So you got Colin Kaepernick. He's still a 49er.
Yes, he is. So right now, he's in camp with the 49ers as their quarterback right now. The 49ers told Denver, "Fuck you, we're not eating $4.9 million. We will pay him the money that is we owe him by the word of his contract. We will pay him." Denver says, "No, San Francisco, you need to eat this money, and Kaepernick, you need to take a pay cut." And both Niners and Kaepernick say, "Mm-mm."
So you jumped to the punchline of that.
Yeah.
Kaepernick's being courted by John Elway and the Denver Broncos. They brought him in, they talked, they liked him, but there's some financial. They don't value him at the millions that San Francisco and what they owe him.
He's guaranteed the money regardless.
Right,
$11.9 million right now,
and they value him like at $7.
Yeah,
so there's a $4 million gap, and they want Cap to either eat that or your shitbag team to pay it.
No, they want the 49ers to pay it, and that's not happening. So. No. Anyway, so right now, Cap's a Niner. I hope it stays that way. The media is still trying to drive that wedge in between the front office and Kaepernick. I mean, try and blow it up more than it is, but Kaepernick right now is a 49er.
I blame your fucking organization for some news that I read this week.
You don't even know how to read.
No, I can read. I can do that. Because I read these goddamn notes that you prepare. So I blame your organization because the NFC West for a few years now has been the dominant division in the NFL.
Yes.
And we've had somebody representing deep into the playoffs, if not in the Super Bowl, or winning it in the case of Seattle.
And we did this year as well.
Right, did it again. So they are now saying that the AFC North is the division to beat in the NFL.
Yeah. I personally can't think of another division that is better than the AFC North, top to bottom, even with the shitty-ass Browns in there. And we were talking about it earlier. You got Pittsburgh, you got Cincinnati, Joe Flacco's arm, and whatever the fuck the Browns are bringing to the table. All we have is RG3 and Hugh Jackson, so we have nothing to go off of there. We have Gary Barnkowski, Gary Barnage.
Friend of the show.
Yeah.
Because I met him once. So.
You did? Gary Barnage?
Yeah.
At the Pro Bowl?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Pro Bowl.
That's right. And then, yeah. So, and then San Francisco's fall from grace, and then L.A., St. Louis Rams, whatever the fuck which one of them shows up.
You just switched to gears fast there. Barnage? You were talking about Barnage. We were still in
I left that. Now I said now in the NFC West.
Okay.
That's all we have now is the 49ers fall from grace, and whatever the fuck St. Louis and L.A., that is the reason why we have fell off.
I can't see
Seattle and Arizona are not the reason.
I cannot see L.A. Rams coming out and just mashing everybody. Now they had a defense last year, but they had their problems. So I think that just the offseason distractions are probably going to affect them. You know, change in place,
the move. Yeah.
Where are they playing at this year?
It should be. I think it's going to be the Coliseum.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Not sure though.
So yeah, it's huge, but it's old and shitty.
Yeah.
You know, kind of it's a lot like Hawaii's the Aloha Stadium. Mm-hmm. It's just kind of it's
nice on the inside.
Yeah.
But then on the outside, it's like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
I think I just saw someone get stabbed.
When you see shit that Jerry Jones has done, you know, it set a very high bar for what a stadium should look like. What LA's building is going to be fucking awesome. It's
Speaking
beautiful.
of what Jerry Jones built, WrestleMania was there.
Ah, nice.
And I sent some tweets out yesterday. WrestleMania was pretty pretty entertaining. Tyler and I, it's kind of like a tradition. We'll watch WrestleMania together, order pizza, and watch fucking WrestleMania. It was pretty. I haven't watched a single episode all year of whatever is going on. I say episode because obviously it's a fucking show. It's sports entertainment.
I was gonna say, is that what they call it? As an episode?
Yeah, okay. Episode of Raw, episode of SmackDown.
On last week's episode of SmackDown.
Yeah, shit like that. It was pretty fucking entertaining and very nostalgic watching some of these older guys come out. The Hall of Fame for WrestleMania, Snoop Dogg gets inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame.
What?
Along with Sting.
So why Snoop Dogg?
Just all the shit he's done over the years with WWE.
Has he been a big player in it?
Yeah. He's done performances at WrestleMania. He sang a song this year. I can't remember what song it was.
Messing with me, Snoop Double G. So you invited me over, and I had a little bit of time, so I stopped by. And I haven't watched wrestling in. I mean, it had to have been like Hulk Hogan era was the last time that I've probably watched. Maybe. Yeah, because you had to fill me in on like the Stone Cold and the Triple H and the Rock. You know, I thought Rock was just an actor.
He is. He made he shows up at the big pay-per-views and then calls somebody an asshole and then ends up fighting them. And then and that ended up happening tonight or last night. He ended up doing that.
So completely, the fight that I saw was that. What's that ladder thing called? Where they go up the ladder and they get the belt?
Oh, you were watching the. There was the tag team championship, the 3-man tag team championship ladder match. Yeah.
Hilarious. Because it was exactly what I remembered. Like, it hasn't changed. They've kept that spirit alive.
Or no, it was the Intercontinental Championship. Sorry.
Whatever it was. It doesn't matter. It's a fucking act. Yeah. But it was so perfect. Like, 5 times, somebody climbs up the ladder and is like, I've made it. And they got the belt hanging up there, and they're like, I've made it. And
totally could have just snatched it down.
They go to grab it, and fucking, they get the ladder pushed over, and they pass out. And then off screen, it goes back up and shows the next guy like, now I've done it. Bam. Next guy, now I've done it. And then finally, in perfect WWE fashion, this guy is like, he climbs up there and now everybody's out except for him. And he climbs up there and he's sitting there and he's just, fuck yeah, I'm the champ. And he goes to grab it and boom, the ladder goes knocked over. And then the other guy climbs up and immediately snatches it and starts crying and he's hugging his dad and everybody. But it was exactly what I remembered, and it was so fun just watching that. And then we watched Booty-O's.
Oh my God, I don't even know. It's like Next Day or whatever. A group that was the 3-man tag team championship. The fucking guys come out of a 20-foot box of cereal called Booty-O's. I mean, I don't even know who these guys are.
It's standing straight up, 20 feet tall, like no shit, a box of cereal. It tips over. And instead of Cheerios, it's Booty-O's, but it looks like bagels. Yeah. Come fucking rolling out. And they didn't come out immediately.
No.
So they had to have fucking not thought it through and got tousled and tussled around as that shit fell over.
They weren't little dudes.
Not little dudes. And then they fucking come out and dressed like worse than gladiators.
Glitter unicorns, whatever the
horns
fuck
and shit hanging out of their head.
I don't know what the hell it was.
Awesome.
But Booty-O's.
Booty-O's.
That was fucking awesome. We're serving you Booty-O's just to make sure you ate booty. So that was one of the taglines. So, but
no, it was,
UFC, good job, Vince McMahon and WWE. You guys put on a show. It was awesome.
And that stadium was just slammed.
And that's why The Rock came out, was to announce a WrestleMania attendance record.
Really?
Yeah.
It was slammed.
It was pretty fucking sick.
So pretty cool though. Really fun.
One more thing about football, and then we'll be done with sports.
Okay.
So, how you said nothing good comes out of Idaho. Mm-hmm. Well, he's not really coming out of Idaho, but he played college football for Boise State. A kid born in Honolulu, Hawaii.
Okay, good people.
Went to St. Louis High School, where Marcus Mariota played his football.
They have a bit of a legacy now.
Yes. So Kamale Correa, who was a defensive end for my Boise State Broncos, is now being deemed a first-round draft pick.
Ooh.
So this is, and the Steelers have been tagged as having the most interest in him. So congratulations, and I'm crossing my fingers for a Boise State first rounder again. So we've had a few in our tenure. So
and also for Hawaii and Honolulu, people that aren't from here don't realize that it's kind of like Los Angeles on an island. There's that many people. I mean, we have almost 1 million people on this island.
Yeah, it's nuts.
But it's so small that everybody's connected in some way, and not whether it's with the locals or folks from different industries that are brought here. But there really is, because it's so small, a hometown feel.
Yes, exactly.
And
no matter
so,
what high school you're from, it's all hometown. Even The Rock went to McKinley High School.
Right, where we've gone and watched Tyler play football several times.
And absolutely destroy McKinley, by the way. Go Leila Hua.
The fucking mules.
The mighty mules.
Mighty morphing Power Rangers.
But that's sports.
That's it. So, should we talk about? I think we should talk about a phone call we received a little bit ago.
Oh. So, a good friend of ours, friend of the podcast, and a friend of the
FIB.
The FIB, Fantasy Island Boys Fantasy Football League, Will has reached out to me earlier today and needed some information of mine to assist in an interview. I didn't know. He was just asking, hey, what's your address? So I sent it to him. It may or may not have been my actual address, and it might have been inappropriate if the wrong person had seen it.
Only appropriate coming from Tom.
Yeah, it's only appropriate. If you're a friend of mine, you're like, oh, fucking asshole. But anyway, this is a piece of it, and you'll hear it, and then we'll explain it more after it's done. So here we go.
So this is going to be people just watching us listen to something.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Came in, I was like, oh, his address is here. And I was like, it's 1234, and I was like, I don't even know how to pronounce this.
Oh, no!
And I fucking spelled it out to her, right? And then when I got to the city, I was like, oh, this motherfucker. And she was writing it down. And she wrote it down, and she started laughing. She thought it was so funny. And I was like, I am so sorry. I was like, you may not want to interview this guy. I was like, he's a dick. And, oh, my God.
I didn't know it was that time sensitive. I mean, I did give it a few minutes before I sent you my real address, though.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, dude. I didn't know that was the case.
No, it's funny. It's one of the funniest stories I've ever that's like one of my priceless stories now. But, like, you should have saw her face. She even, like, so for a while, like, she was like, because I was still typing and shit on the computer, and she was sitting in my office, and she was like, this is in Hawaii? And I was like, yeah, I was like, it's got all those vowels. She goes to try to pronounce it. She's like, Ada. And I was like, oh, wait, don't say that. I was like, that motherfucker.
Oh my God, that is gonna be a classic forever, dude.
I know the story, but if I was listening to that as a listener, I would be like, what the fuck just happened? It sounded, I mean, you saw us laugh.
Yeah.
But
so
what the fuck happened?
The reason why this is so hilarious, he asked me, hey, I need your address. That's what he sends me via text. So, being the fucking nice friend that I am, I promptly return a text to him with
nice.
my address. My address read 1234 Eat a Dick Lane, Yo Mama, Hawaii, 96786.
Eat a dick.
Eat a Dick Lane. Like one word, no spaces, just eat a dick. So in the phone call, she's trying to sound out, eat a dick. And they see that the city is Yo Mama. 2 words. I actually split that up. But in Hawaii, a lot of the towns here are just almost nothing but vowels. Matter of fact, the only city in the United States made up of all vowels is right here in Hawaii, in Aiea.
Aiea.
Yeah.
A-E-I-A.
A-I-E-A.
Whatever.
A lot of fucking vowels.
Yes.
But anyway, so what it ended up being is he's asking me on the spot as he's getting interviewed by a special agent for a security clearance. So he's got this federal agent filling out verifying paperwork and filling out paperwork on the spot with him. And he's here like, it's 1234. I don't know how to pronounce it. There's a lot of vowels.
And so he just hands her the phone for her just to write it down. And she's like, how do I pronounce this? And so then he hands her this, eat a dick, your mama lane. Oh my God, how fucking funny is that, dude?
So you heard me, I apologize to him. I didn't know the severity. I thought he was just by himself and he was just filling paperwork out or whatever.
I'm so glad that you didn't, because you wouldn't have done it. But that was fucking awesome, because you can just see, you can picture somebody there, and you're in your workspace, you're in your environment, you're trying to be professional, you got somebody that's wanting to dig into your past, so you're trying to really give them your best foot forward. And then
yes, this guy can vouch for my character. And so he even tells her as you heard, he's like, yeah, I wouldn't call him to interview.
We need somebody to vouch for your character. So it is only appropriate then that if you want to reach us here on the show, you would email us at dickheads@theedandtomshow.com.
Very fitting now.
And matter of fact, Eddie Zandici, one of the things that today he was like, hey, I need to send you some links and stuff. Shoot me your email address so I can do it. And so I sent him dickheads@theedandtomshow.com, and he never emailed. He had to have seen that and been like, this is bullshit. I'm not going to fucking, like you're probably fucking like, oh, now these guys are fucking comedians, right?
Yeah. Well, we're trying to be.
So that brings me to another point of something that we talked about with him. And I mentioned this before. My wife, Kate the Hate.
She hates us.
She does hate us. But what she always says is, again, you're not a fucking comedian.
I love you, Kate.
She'll never hear it.
I know.
I
just wanted.
You're not a comedian.
Message.
Quit trying to be funny. And so I asked Eddie yesterday.
That is Kate the Hate.
That is Kate the Hate. So I asked him yesterday, I said, hey, give some advice. Like, what would you tell a couple young dudes that are just out having fun? And he said, do exactly that. Have fun. Enjoy yourself. And there is no clown school that you're going to graduate from. Just go out and do your thing and be funny. And that's what makes you a comedian. Whether you want to call yourself that or not, just go out and do it. And he said one of the things that drove him is when you talk about, he talked about George Carlin and a famous quote of his that said, your job as a comedian is to go out and find what that line between decency and indecency is. And once you find that line, not only are you supposed to cross it, but you're supposed to destroy it. You're supposed to bring absolute ludicrous, just absolute insanity to that line and go past it and use that as your art form.
Hell yeah.
And so I think that we do that a lot. I think that we try to do that, and then we have fun with it and we enjoy it and we stay true to ourselves. But we do cross that line, and I can tell from the folks that do listen to the show, we do make them chuckle once in a while. So.
Oh, definitely. I think if people never heard of us and listened to it, they might even laugh.
They might.
They might not like the show, but they're definitely going to laugh once or twice.
Laugh at something.
If it ain't my ugly mug, it's probably yours.
Yes, and both men who have faces made for radio. So, Batman versus Superman. We talked about it last week, and this is not a spoiler.
No, but
it is
what
spoiled.
Is spoiled is the money that it's not making in the box office. Our friend of the podcast and guest we had for the spoiler episode, Mike Morris, he hit me up with a link via text, and it was showing that Forbes magazine is calling for it was the biggest Friday to Friday drop by a hit comic book movie ever, like. I think it was 81% drop from Friday to Friday.
Cut the fucking legs out from underneath Soupy and Batty.
Then out of all movies, it was a 69% drop.
So again,
still leading the way. Still leading the way in money for the weekend, but it was an absolute shit weekend for movies anyway. I think you had Zootopia, My Big Fat Greek Wedding, God's Not Dead 2. And I think the movies that opened this week was God's Not Dead 2 and Meet the Blacks. Everybody Wants Some and Chonging Hot Pot. I don't even know what the fuck that means. But either way, there's nothing to contend with. But it's still number one. but it is not making any money. Well, not as money as that it was projected.
So that movie, God's Not Dead, it's a documentary. And I think, it's kind of like a documentary. And where it started, the first one, and it's on Netflix, and you can go out and watch it. It's very low budget, but a very good story about this kid in class was challenged by his teacher to write a paper about, basically this teacher was talking about how religion was dying and going down. So this kid was like, no, it's not. And he's like, okay, then write a paper. Your assignment is to write a paper about prove that God's existence. Go ahead and enjoy.
Oh, that's kind of controversial. They want to keep fucking God out of school.
And so this is college. So it's later on.
Okay.
And so the guy ended up making this documentary about it, and so then this was the sequel, the follow-up to it. So that's really cool that it made that much money, because the budget for the first one, I think, was just a few $1,000s.
Yeah, it's made a little over $7.5 million in its opening weekend.
Which for a blockbuster is nothing. I mean, that would be a flop. I mean, that's like
a documentary where you're basically just paying the camera dude and whoever's in front of the camera.
So really cool. So, some folks out there doing some things that following their heart, following their conviction, and definitely appreciate that. So really cool. That movie, I think we're a little different here on this next movie that we're going to talk about.
Hardcore Henry?
Hardcore Henry.
Yeah, that opens this Friday, and it's supposed to be, it's the first ever, they've compared, how they're comparing it, they're saying Jason Bourne meets 007 meets Call of Duty. When what it means by that, it is a first person, it's a movie filmed 100% from first person point of view. So it's like this actor running around with a GoPro on his forehead, and that's how the movie is. And it is action packed from what we've seen in the previews. Mm-hmm. So I really, really want to go watch it. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to probably drag Tyler, because Cherie probably won't want to go, and Alyssa be like, yeah, whatever. So Tyler and I will probably go hit it up Friday, and I really hope I don't get sick, like physically sick from all the moving around from the camera. But I really want to see this movie.
Take some Dramamine before you go. That might help.
Yeah,
that
maybe.
Motion sickness. But I think, and here's where I say, I don't think I want to see this one in the theater. I think this will be one that I want to enjoy in VR. When our VR headsets come in, this is one that's how I want to watch it. And I almost feel like it was made for that.
And that is funny you say that, because I said those exact words in a conversation at work today.
Really?
We were talking about movies coming up. Somebody was like, oh, what's coming up? And I'm like, oh, hey, Hardcore Henry. They're like, oh, I've never heard of it. So I explained it to him. I was like, hey, go watch it. Go watch the thing on YouTube. And while he was watching, I was like, dude, you know what would be awesome is watching this with a VR headset. So
I'm not laughing at what you're saying, but the fucking picture that I got in my head when you said Hardcore Henry, here's what I picture. Harry and the Hendersons. He's got some fucking Sasquatch, right? He just got some bitch pushed over, and he's just fucking railing her from behind with his big Bigfoot dick, right? Just oh, that's what happened right there. So
it's morbid.
But could you imagine how fucking funny it would be to watch a porn? There's some hot chick just getting fucking absolutely destroyed, just Bigfoot dick all over her back.
That would be one of those messing with Sasquatch internet only YouTube videos.
Oh my God, how funny would that be? You're messing with Sasquatch, and you're fucking. He's sleeping, right? Again, Rob Zombie hasn't reached out to us about last week's idea, but here's another one.
We're making millions here.
Here's another one. So here's some guy. Sasquatch is over there sleeping. And they're taking like condoms, right? And they do the condom challenge where you fill it up with water and drop it on your head. Have you seen that one?
Oh, and the condom goes around your head.
Yeah. So they fucking condom drop Bigfoot. So he gets up and he's like, and these guys are laughing and they're running. And then here comes fucking Sasquatch. He just snatches a dude by his neck and doesn't even pull down his pants, just fucking penetrates him and just fucking rapes him to death. He fucking death by Unga Bunga right there in the woods. Hammers him dead.
And his buddies are eating fucking jerky, going, oh, and then they bring in Jack's Link's jerky.
And then he fucking just, and it fucking moves on.
That's fucking gross. So that line of decency? Yeah. Where is it? We fucking destroyed it right there.
None of that was planned.
That's fucking gross.
And what's The Boss?
That's the Melissa McCarthy movie. The new Melissa McCarthy movie where she's the mom, or I don't know the whole premise. I think she's a boss of something, and eventually somehow is like in charge of some Girl Scout thing, and they're getting that street brawl with that other Girl Scout troop.
I don't know that I've seen the preview.
Anyway, yeah, it might be funny, but those are the two big movies coming out this weekend.
Melissa McCarthy is, and we've disagreed on this before. You feel that she's... I
like her.
But you're just tired.
Tired, yeah. It's the same fucking character.
I'm just not tired of it yet.
I think people are going to be tired come Ghostbusters.
Maybe, but I still think it's funny. Anything that she does, and especially when she's on Saturday Night Live, I fucking love it. She always has a classic skit when she's on there. Did you ever see the one where she made the ham video? So she does this one where she's like the housewife, right? The fucking glasses, the perm, and she decides she's entering a ham into the state fair, right?
Yeah.
And she knew that one of the ways that it's going to be judged is presentation. So she comes out and she sets the ham on the table, and then these two guys fucking pop up in pig suits, and she does this whole song and dance about ham. It's like fucking going on and ham. Ham. So she does this whole show, and they're like, I mean, it's long and it's over the top, and she's going crazy with it. And she gets done, and they're like, that's not what we meant by presentation. It's fucking hilarious, man.
So the premise for The Boss, which opens this Friday, a titan of industry is sent to prison after she's caught for insider trading. So I'm
get
sure
hard.
they're talking, yes. When she emerges ready to rebrand herself as America's latest sweetheart, not everyone she's screwed over is so quick to forgive and forget.
Okay, so not necessarily get hard ripoff.
No. So I don't know where the Girl Scout thing comes in, but maybe that's just a small piece of it.
Yeah.
That's the majority of what you see in a fucking preview from it.
Right. Okay, well, maybe they're keeping the story secret. Have you seen the video where somebody's gone back and taken all the trailers from Superman versus Batman and put them all together and made like a 15-minute film out of it? You get the entire movie.
Oh, that sucks.
So if you have watched all their trailers and you've seen the movie, you've seen the plot, you've seen all the big parts, yeah.
That's what you get, and you probably get to see all of Wonder Woman, too.
And you know what? There will probably just be just as many questions then as if you had seen it.
Yeah.
And the reason, for those that may be new to the show, the reason that we don't do our spoilers on the show or talk about movies on the show is because we decided we were going to do a spoiler for, we were going to discuss the Walking Dead.
God, I so want to talk about Walking Dead, but we can't. It's better. It's best if we can't. And somebody last night posted some shit on Facebook before I was able to watch, but it didn't give anything away. But I got so angry. I was like, why fucking do that? I get it. Social media, that's how you talk to people. Leave the fucking show alone.
Stop, Tom. You can't do that because I have a feeling I know what next week's public service announcement is going to be about. No, not giving anything away there, but I have an idea where we're going next week.
Oh, okay. I feel you, yo.
So games, I've played a little bit more of Secrets of Mirage, and I'm really liking it. The feel, the interaction that you have with folks, a lot of text-based chatting, the little quests that you can go on. It's fun, and it looks so good, and it plays so crisp, and it does. It's like immediately takes you right back to that first time you played Zelda and you walked into that fucking cave and you lifted up that sword. I fucking love it, man. It's awesome. So great job on that game. And for anybody that doesn't know what I'm talking about, the developer for the game Secrets of Mirage reached out and said, hey, I want you to play my game. I want you to give me some good feedback on it. And it's a lot of fun. It's really good. So if you get a chance, you can go out to secretofmirage.com, download it for free, set yourself up a little account, and get into a massive multiplayer online and meet new people, enjoy things, become the elf that you've always wanted to become, and
nerds. Sorry,
that was mean. That was mean.
No, I have meant to install. I had all the intentions to install and play this game. But all my free time that I have not all my free time, but all my video game time, which is very fucking minimal because I have a teenager in the house and only one Xbox One, I have progressed to level 10 on the Division. Yay, fucking me!
You're making it. You're getting somewhere.
Fucking great, dude. I get so tunnel visioned in these fucking missions and side missions. It's oh shit. I got to get off.
And everybody that I've heard, with the exception of Mitch from our fantasy football league. Also in the March Madness poll there. He's the only person I've heard say that he's like, nah. And honestly, it's because he doesn't have any fucking friends. So he doesn't have anybody to play with.
Does he listen to the show?
Probably not.
Yeah, I think we talked about this. Oh, you guys are still doing that?
Yeah, you're in our fucking league, yet you don't even know that we have this show. Kind of like my wife and the neighbors.
And that's the shit I can't stand for in the league. You have to be a vocal member of our league, or you're donezo. I haven't even met this guy, and I just feel like we just are not clicking.
I don't think you guys would click. I think you would probably hate him immediately.
Really?
Yeah, probably.
Well, I don't usually judge people until I've met them like 3, 4, 5 times or done something with them. And what I've done with him, I'm not impressed. It has been no physical interaction, no verbal interaction. He hasn't even left a message on the fucking message board at all this year. At all. He did change his team. He did change his name, and he did put a team picture up.
And did he have a roster every week?
Yes.
There you go. That's what's the most important piece. Now,
not in my league.
He should be taking it to the next level, though.
Yeah, everybody else is.
If we're taking it to the next level, he should be taking it to the next level. And the next level for him, and this is just a warning for you, is to just interact once.
Interact with us.
Yes, interact once.
Interact with your co-owners.
Why are we even talking about this fucking
I'm
idiot?
sorry. I don't know.
All we're doing is wasting time because they'll never hear.
He doesn't listen. All right, so what are we doing now?
So, fitness. How you been?
Not bad. Yeah. Not bad at all. Actually played 2 games of basketball yesterday with Tyler.
Hold on, you're white.
I couldn't jump, but I was playing basketball.
There you go.
No, I actually played 2 games of basketball yesterday with Tyler at the gym.
How was the labia?
My labrum?
Yes.
I don't have those parts, Ed. My labrum, it was great during, and then probably 2 hours afterwards, some pinching. So, but it's not too bad. But Tyler beat me the first game, and I beat him the second game. So
were you guys
this
just playing
fucking old man's got it, 1-on-1.
1-on-1, so some fucking Jordan versus Bird. But it was like,
well, I appreciate the pump up there.
You're welcome. And the reason I said that is because did you ever play that video game on Nintendo?
Yeah.
Jordan, and it was a fucking horrible game. it didn't matter which one you picked. It was fucking just retarded. Yeah. Thank you. You're welcome.
Yeah. So Tyler, he shook me out in my shoes a couple times, shot the lights out, but I did get him 1 game.
Nice.
So.
Nice. But so there wasn't anybody else there playing, huh?
No, well, there was like 5 other dudes, but it was like 3 guys, big white guys playing on one end, and then like two other guys playing in the middle there by themselves. So there was not like.
You specifically mentioned the other guys were white.
Big fat white guys.
Okay. And then you just mentioned 2 guys.
Other guys.
2 other guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe a Hispanic and a black guy, I think. I don't know.
It's funny how polarizing sometimes like a basketball court can be.
Yeah.
Many times we've walked into the gym to play
and you can't fucking get it. You can't get on the court.
You can't get on the court. But there's a white court and a black court.
Oh, yeah, okay, I see where you're going. And that is definitely...
And they don't mix it up a little bit.
Every now and again, you might get like a really tall guy say, hey, we need this really tall guy for this.
Right.
We need to roll with this guy.
Have we talked about the when we went and played basketball and how I showed out?
Yeah.
With my outfit, with my Jackie Moon outfit?
I wasn't there for that. Tyler was. I was in Korea. You and Will, who we were just had on Will and Tyler went to the gym. I wasn't there for
you weren't there for Jackie Moon.
I was in Korea.
Jackie's going to have to come back then because you need to. I'll tell you what, that's my end of the bet. If John Jones loses, I will go to the gym on a Saturday morning, full Jackie, and I will get into a game and go full Jackie. I will. I'll post a picture so you know what I'm talking about. Matter of fact, I'll throw it out real quick right now. I'll go full fucking Jackie out there.
Jackie Moon from the movie Semi-Pro.
My favorite Will Ferrell movie.
It is absolute Spumoni! Spumoni!
Baby, I want to love you sexy.
Can you put that cigarette out? No, I like to smoke when I drink. He's on the side of fucking courtside basketball.
The best part, and I still love it, is when he's like to Dick Pepper, and he's doing the interview. He says, "Hey Dick, you want to get out of here and go get some pussy?" I don't think Miss Pepperfield will like that. Come on, let's go get some pussy. Can't say no to you, Jackie. If you haven't seen that movie, which I'm surprised how many people I run across that never saw Semi-Pro.
God, it was so funny. It was one of the, like you said, probably one of the best fucking Will Ferrell movies ever.
So I have now decided what I am putting on the line. We need to find out what you are going to put on the line.
$5?
Nope. So I've been really pushing it on the runs lately, trying to get my speed down, and so really still putting that in. I ran another naked run last night.
Naked? Put some fucking clothes on. Shit.
For those that don't know, and this is last time.
Oh, you mean off the grid? Off
the grid. So no electronics at all. Just enjoying nature, breathing. I will never again describe what I mean by naked running, so people who don't listen to the show will have no clue what I'm talking about. Went out and ran naked and loved it. Got in about 5 miles last night.
Flap, 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 flap.
How painful would that be? Although I ran 7 miles, a little over like 7.5 on Friday. And
damn, Gina.
Rubbed my fucking nipples off. Oh, it hurt so bad.
That happens to me as well. And we got in a conversation at work, and this chick was like, or this female at work was saying,
now you're going to fucking acquiesce to this girl? This fucking bitch, this broad.
She comes in and she's like, you guys got to clear something up for me. So guys, when they run or fucking go hiking or something, got a backpack on or something, they talk about they wear Band-Aids on their nipples because they bleed. I'm like, yeah. She totally thought this was a made-up thing. We're like, no, this happens to me quite often.
Right.
And yeah, more. And then we pulled up pictures of marathon runners to where they've got blood just rolling down the front of their shirt from this shit. So it's a real thing.
It is real.
Nipples matter.
And why women don't have this happen? Because they wear a bra that stops their shirt from going every fucking time they make a step. Yeah. And Kate said to me, she's like, because I jumped in the shower and I was like, ah! Yeah. She's like, well, first of all, you ran too far. That's stupid. Mm-hmm. And then second of all, why don't you do the Band-Aid thing? We've talked about this, and I was like, because it's fucking, I just can't bring myself to do it.
I couldn't do it. So what if you're running and they fucking sweat off, and now you've got fucking shit balling up on your chest hair or whatever?
They make Band-Aid, like some running nipple protectors, which are just Band-Aids. But I can't do it, man. I can't do it.
Running with fucking pasties on?
Just put some giant, like, maxi pads.
Woo, 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 woo.
Tassels.
Yeah.
So, some geek news.
Rain.
Some geek news that happened this week. Tesla announced the Tesla 3.
Which is?
It is a Tesla car for the common man. So instead of $85,000 to $115,000, $35,000 before any of your government subsidies for having an all-electric car, and then $38,000 if you want the convenience package. Which, if you were going to buy this, you would have to get the convenience package, because that's the one that gives you autopilot. That's the one that gives you all those types of features.
Is it like a one-seater or something?
No, it's a sedan. It's a commuter car sedan. It's not quite as stylish, not as sporty as the Model S, but it's a beautiful car. So what they did was they said, hey, if you want to buy this car, you got to pre-order it. You got to drop $1,000 down and know that you're probably not going to take delivery until like late 2017. And they were, expecting like 120,000 pre-orders. They fucking blew it out of the water. They had like 350 the last time I looked, and they were still accepting pre-orders.
Damn!
So people are serious about wanting to make that move, not only to an all-electric car, but to that autopilot.
Autonomous.
That autonomous driving.
Nice.
That's what I need. If you don't pay that $3,000, you still get a lot of those features, like the auto parking, and it'll still do it'll look at the lane next to you before you switch lanes, and it has cruise control, but it won't take over and drive itself. So, if you want to give, especially, I know Brent was telling me when those cars got down to the price that he could get himself into one, he might. So Brent, if you haven't looked at the Tesla 3, which I'm pretty sure you have, dude, fucking check it out. You might be dropping $1,000 this week to pre-order that mother truck.
Let us know if you do.
Yeah,
that's
because
fucking pretty sweet. And then you can fucking have something a little bit more reliable when you're on location doing your fucking UFC shit for us.
Yeah. Matter of fact, let's just continue to tell the story like he did pre-order it. Let's just make up a whole lie about how he pre-ordered it, and we'll do updates.
Well, now they know it's a lie.
But the next time, but nobody's going to listen to it 2 times in a row. And so then the next time, we'll just keep this lie going. We'll talk about like his pre-order and the process and where he's at in line, and we'll just make the whole shit up. It'll be funny.
How many people he's hit on autopilot.
So let's talk about, we already talked about last week's public service announcement.
Yes.
And the shit show that I aborted.
Abortion.
And so I think this week we need to do some justice.
Yes.
To bring that back. And so again, to the listeners of that, I apologize. It was completely Tom's fault. And I tried to make up for it every way I could, and I just couldn't quite compensate for his fucking just lack of responsibility. And
you can't fucking pin this on me.
And there's nothing
asshole.
worse than somebody who won't take responsibility when they fuck up. So
own up to your actions.
Exactly. That's all I'm asking you to do, Tom. So if you wouldn't mind hitting the button. Am I fitting out?
This is a public service announcement.
Brought to you by The Ed and Tom Show.
I am so white.
I just love it, though. I love it, though. So this week's public service announcement is really a shot across the bow for some people that we have to deal with more often than we should.
Everybody deals with more often than they should.
Absolutely.
It's an absolute fucking shame.
It is one of the biggest things that will piss you off day in and day out. And I think that it's only right to show this and tell this story by telling the story of a couple friends and how they've had to deal with it. And so I think it's only appropriate. Are we ready for this?
We are ready.
We've decided this week we're going to try this without the sad music behind it. It was that distracting that last week. Last week's PSA was a fuck up. So this week we're going to try it without the music. And so if you're watching this on YouTube, you're not going to get the music. I am going to go back later and add the music to the audio version. So if you're listening to this on the podcast, on our website, theedandtomshow.com, or through your app, either
iTunes,
Podbean, or iTunes, or wherever you get them.
Podcast Addict.
Yeah, whichever one. Everything I just said was a lie, and disregard it.
Because you're going to hear something.
Because you're going to hear some sad music starting right.
Meow.
James and Eric were two guys who grew up together in the small town of Silverton, Washington. They had been best friends since first grade when they found themselves sitting next to each other in Miss Brewer's class. They both had the same flavor of fruit roll-up, and that was all it took for them to find the kind of common bond that's rare in this world. They both loved sports, Legos, Pokemon, video games, and even superhero stories. They were inseparable. To mention one was to mention both of them. Their friendship brought not only them together, but their entire families. Their parents became friends, and many summer vacations were shared together, camping, traveling, and just enjoying life together. James and Eric were both good-looking and outgoing young men by the time they'd hit junior high. On the football team, Eric was the quarterback and James the running back. Both successful, popular, yet humble. They could sit in a room for hours, never saying a word, but know each other's thoughts. They could carry on a conversation without ever speaking. By the time they were in high school, they were the stars of the baseball team. Eric, the star pitcher, and James played shortstop. In basketball, they complemented each other so well, it was impossible to cover them. There was no reason to speak, and instinctively, when a pass was thrown to an empty space, it was only a matter of milliseconds before the other was there to catch the ball. A shot would be made, and in the rare event that it was missed, the rebound was usually brought down and put back up by the other. Tom, to say it was magical would be an understatement. One of the things they laughed about was that they had never had a fight, never a harsh word. Even when James had a crush on Amber Wesley in 8th grade, and she had one on Eric, they decided that neither one of them would have anything to do with her. It just wasn't worth it.
Bros before hoes.
Their competitive spirit was a force to reckon with, but they were never competitive against each other. In a life of video games where it's player versus player, they were playing co-op. Their senior year, they got serious looks for baseball scholarships. And Washington State University had an interest in both of them. The stars lined up, and it was to be two friends, best friends, attending a Division I school together on partial sports scholarships. As college went on, so did they. Partying and random co-eds never came between them. They had other frat brothers, but none as close as they were to one another.
So check this out. After graduation, both guys got jobs in downtown Chicago with the same advertising firm. Eric was a graphic designer and James was a writer. They had managed to land jobs together after being interviewed at the job fair their senior year at Wazoo. The dreams of playing professional baseball never materialized, but the education they received was more than enough to compensate for them. So, see, Ed, you don't need to you don't need to pay college athletes for them to be successful. They got their Division I education, they played the sport that they wanted to, and went to college for fucking free. And they're successful in their jobs doing things for this advertising firm in fucking Chicago. You don't need to pay college athletes.
Jesus Christ, we're doing a fucking public service announcement here. One of our staples of our show, and you can't just fucking let it go. You have to fucking just jam your agenda down our throat.
I had a chance to drive home a fucking point that you will never see. Look it.
Let me can I take a second to talk about these fuckers and you don't have to talk about yourself?
Fine, whatever.
You're fucking dick.
Just get my fucking point.
Anyways, where were we? Oh yeah, Chicago. They lived in a small apartment. They struggled under the weight of being in a new city with a new job, but they had each other, and that was enough. Don't get me wrong, not that there's anything wrong with it, but they weren't gay. They just had each other. Many people go their entire life looking for their soulmate, and most identify that someone as of the opposite sex, but it doesn't have to be. What if you find the person in this world that completes you and you can have an intimate relationship that isn't physical or sexual or in any way? This is a different idea, especially for men, but just like you, Tom, my soulmate.
What the fuck are you talking about? So how did you go from talking about Eric and James, the subject, to us being soulmates?
You don't see it?
Are you fucking high? You fucking been knocking back on fucking Uncle Todd's fucking roofie colada? Holy shit, dude. I'm so fucking confused where this is going now.
Just shut up and listen.
It's like, fuck shitting me.
So these guys were at work one day, a day like every other day. Eric was just finishing up work on a client's project, and James was at his normal desk one floor down in an area known as the writer's block at McMillan Advertising. When he realized that a thumb drive he needed had been left in the car. Something that I glossed over a little earlier was the fact that James, while great at everything he did, sometimes needed Eric to help him out when he'd make small mistakes. Whether it was while in high school playing football, James might run to the wrong side or block to the wrong position. In baseball, maybe he'd get a great catch of a hot grounder, but Eric was always there yelling where to go with the ball. Playing basketball, during the timeouts while the coach was talking, they would have a conversation about them together, an intimate conversation without any words, and know exactly what to do going forward. On this particular day, James needed Eric to run to the car and retrieve that thumb drive. When Eric reached the garage, he was met at the elevator door in the parking garage by Michael Brown. Mike had been released by the company the week before for incompetence. He was habitually late to work. He was insubordinate to his office manager, smelled of alcohol, rude to clients, and stubborn while being arrogant, know-it-all. And he just did not have a clue. You laugh, but Mike raised his 12-gauge shotgun he was concealing in his jacket, and with one small pull of the trigger, ended the life of Eric. Eric's chest imploded from the impact of the buckshot ripping through his flesh. Before Eric realized what was going to happen, his life slipped, in an instant, from his body, and left an empty corpse for James to mourn. 4 additional people also lost their lives on 19 December 2013, including Mike Brown, the shooter, who did us all a favor by swallowing the final shell in his gun.
Maybe if his fucking jacket was lined with all his NCAA money, he would be alive today, huh, Ed? Fuck.
4 weeks later...
Sorry.
4 weeks later, James was found dead, hanging in his apartment by Eric's sister. She had come to pick up the last of Eric's clothes and belongings, and there he dangled. You see, incompetent coworkers cause us all pain and agony on an everyday basis. Not every retard we work with is going to become an office assassin like Mikey Boy here.
Hope not.
But they cause pain nonetheless. You see, incompetence is a fucking cancer that must be eradicated from the office space. However, like cancer, no matter how hard you try or what you do to prevent it, it will pop up every chance it gets. Have you ever worked with a guy or a gal who seemed to have zero critical thinking skills?
Yes.
You have to wonder why they still have a job. They ask questions like, what's the office policy on sleeping at my desk? Maybe you work in a factory and you drive a forklift moving products. You come in and you find that some dickhead had moved tons of inventory into the wrong location. Maybe while adding up the numbers on the account they were working on, they fucked up. And that fuck up not only was not discovered until 3 weeks later after a full-fledged audit. During that audit, good people were forced to work long, hard hours, and you would have to spend 3 or 4 days troubleshooting what they had done just to find out that it was all their fault in the beginning. Maybe you work in an IT office and you spend 3 hours troubleshooting a computer network issue over the phone, only to find out that they had plugged the fucking phone jack into the back of the computer.
Seen it 100 times.
Maybe you have a manager who's so inept that he failed to schedule the people that he needed on a busy weekend shift. Then the corporate manager comes in and sees these lines that go all the way back to the back of the store, and he's like, what the fuck's going on? And your manager's like, oh, everybody called in sick, that's the reason why. It's that special kind of stupid that puts regular gas in the diesel engine of the company's Volkswagen TDI Jetta.
You gotta keep your pimp hands strong.
You got to. Or that special kind of stupid, the one that loses something, finally fesses up to it, but it causes the entire company to stop what they're doing and search for it, taking them away from their jobs and their lives, only to find out it was in their fucking desk the entire time.
Fucking idiots. So what about the person that you work with that has one very specific project, or part of a larger project rather, and has no reason to fail, yet does, time and time again, fails a lot, like a stupid, retarded amount of times. But week after week, they don't get their responsibilities taken care of, and others have to suffer.
So I'm happy because you have been listening to this. That's what this entire fucking PSA is about. Yeah, that kind of asshole should be drugged behind a horse through a sticker patch.
Yeah!
Fired in front of the entire office, humiliated and disgraced in front of their fucking loved ones. I'm fucking raging, Tom, because I cannot stand those kind of assholes. Those kind of jackasses are the ones that derail us and ruin everything we fucking do.
Yes. I do know how you feel. How'd that PSA go last week? Fucking douchebag.
You were talking about me.
Yeah.
I see where you went.
I'm glad you're listening.
So what do we do about it? Present company excluded. Well, this can be a slippery slope, and this is one of those things that can backfire on you, because in an office of incompetent people, they could have ties to management. They could have a buddy who's a supervisor who looks out for them. Loyalty could be in that shop in ways that you wouldn't understand. And if you get in the way of that, it could land you in the sights of management.
Fucking victim of the good old boy system.
So you must proceed with caution. I say it all the time. You got to get your hands dirty if you're going to bury a body.
You have fucking never said that, Ed.
You stole my line earlier, but yeah. So every time you fucking derail this thing, can you just fucking sit there and look pretty and just fucking do?
Great. Now I'm incompetent because I can't fucking. You gave me one job and I can't just look pretty. Or can I?
Oh my! The fuck is
That
wrong
one
with
was for the ladies. So here's the answer. You have to call them out every chance you get. Put them on blast for being fucking stupid. Make sure others are around and make sure they know just how bad this person is or people are. Have confidential conversations with your supervisors and let them know how bad it really is and how much you care for the company that pays you. And let them know the company's bottom line is ultimately suffering because of the waste of space that they have hired.
Or, that's one approach. Or, take a shit in their desk one night. Take that coffee cup that they so proudly sit on their desk into the bathroom and swish it around in the fucking urinal for a little bit. You could rub your balls or your clam if you're a lady. Give them a fucking high five. Give them a little stink palm.
Stink palm!
One of my favorites is go into the break room and find that lunch that you know that they're going to enjoy here in a couple hours and just fucking throw it away. These may seem like lowbrow, immature...
Take my lunch!
These may seem like lowbrow, immature solutions. However, sometimes you just have to make a bitch's life miserable to get rid of them. Don't sugarcoat the truth and don't be a punk. If you are a retarded fuckstick who has no business breathing the same air as normal working folks, just do us all a favor and drive the company car head first into a telephone pole.
Oh my fucking God, dude. You and I both know we have together worked and then separately worked with complete fucking waste of skin.
And I hate,
I'm not saying I'm a superstar by any means.
But I would say this.
People can rely on me.
I may not be a superstar, but I'm a starter on any team I go to.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
If you hire me for any business, I'm going to be a starter on your team. That's just, I have a work ethic. I have a way that I like to do things. And my work ethic might be a little funny for this show, but actually for real life. But I'm one of those guys that, and you as well, I've worked with you long enough to know that but then there's the others. There's the fucking people that you work with.
It's like, how the fuck did you get to this position?
And sometimes they fucking are in positions that they have authority and they have management and they have the ability to influence other people, and it's disgusting.
And they could make everyone's life fucking awesome
and
easy, or they don't do anything and they fucking just make everyone's lives harder. Now you have to pick up their slack, or if you don't, the whole project fails, whatever it is. Or another thing that gets me is those fuckers that, when face to face, they won't fucking say anything to you, or it's all email. It's like, oh hey, blah, 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 blah. It's fucking. What did we call that? What did we call that the other day?
Electronic supervision.
Yes, fucking digital leadership or whatever it was. Yeah,
I had a boss one time that he walked by me and he says, "Hey, did you check your email?" And I'd been busy doing stuff, and I was like, "No, I haven't gotten to it. What's up?" He's like, check your email." So I thought there was going to be something, right, like a project or document or something like that. I go and check my email. You know what it says? Come see me. It was a test to make sure that I was checking my email. And all he wanted to do was talk to me about some new changes that were going to happen in the company and things like that. Just minuscule stuff. It's like, why did you have to be such a fucking douchebag?
Especially when you work right over there.
Right there.
Right there.
Right there. 6 feet away.
Hey, Ed! Oh, what's up? Hey, let's talk about something.
What? Okay, let me have a conversation.
Let's make sure that nothing gets lost in translation here. You understand what I'm asking.
I'm really offended. I wish you would have just sent this in an email.
Yeah. So now, if you do that, now it gives people an out to drop the fucking ball.
Yeah. So then you have to fucking do the douchebag thing and send receipts, or read receipts. Yeah. So it pops up on the system that I use at work. They'll ask for a read receipt, and it'll say, "Do you want to send this?" Which I'm so glad it says that, because I'm like, no, fuck them. I don't want them to know if I read it or not. I probably just blowing them off, or I'm taking care of something that I know I need to take care of. But it's just so stalkerish.
Yeah,
it's fucking work stalkerish. I hate it. I hate it.
I currently right now have a boss that's fucking awesome. Picks up the phone, calls me, because I don't work in the same office as him. Picks up the phone, calls me, make sure fucking I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Hey, how's it going? What are you guys doing? Blah, 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 stuff like that. And I work with all my coworkers, and I talk to them.
And that's what you do. You talk to them, right? You have interaction. You have conversation, right? Which was a PSA a few weeks ago.
And you make sure you fucking, if a task is given, you do it.
You just do it.
You don't wait for fucking printer ink for 6 months.
You don't do it. No. You don't. If you need to get something, you go take care of it, because you're an adult.
Adult.
There you go.
And you're a fucking asset to your company.
I do. I have
not an ass hat.
I have
your company.
I have one that I'm dealing with right now. So we, oh Jesus Christ, dude! I fucking want to strangle this. So we're working on this campaign going forward that we're going to present to management. It's this advertising campaign that we have going. And so we're doing some storyboards, and we're doing some drawings, and we're getting some stuff. It's just simple stuff, but there's a lot of people working on it, and it's a lot of really cool ideas.
A lot of money on the line, probably.
There's a lot of money. It's a pretty big account, and it's one of those things that is, if it goes through, it not only makes the company a ton of money, but it secures jobs. It keeps people's livelihoods going. And so you're dedicated to it, because not only if you're working there, you believe in what the company's doing. And so there's this one shitbag, this one piece of fucking turd, this fucking piece of fucking shit.
Don't hold back, Ed.
And all he had to do was there was some paints and some inks and some things that we needed, some artistic supplies that we needed. And it was like, hey, you're responsible to get those. And when we were doing the plan up to this thing, the guy's like, hey, I don't have those things. It's like, okay, but we need you to get those things. And he's like, yeah, but I don't have them. Well, somebody else that wasn't going to be there for the project, he's like, hey, I got the stuff on my desk. You can use it. So the day before we do this, everybody's shutting down, and we're doing this very specific project. The guy comes to me, and he says, hey, I don't have those supplies that I need. I was like, what do you mean you don't have them? He's like, nobody gave them to me. Like, what do you mean nobody gave them to you? Like, I sat there when Aaron said that you could have them. Yeah. And the guy's like, I'm not going to kiss somebody's ass walking around begging for stuff. I was like, you're not kissing his ass. He looked you in the face and said, you can have the stuff. It's right on my desk. And he's like, well, somebody should have brought it to me. Somebody should have fucking brought it to you. You have a fucking job. You get a paycheck, right? Go get it off your fucking ass, walk over there and grab them and bring them. Now somebody else needs to go fucking do it, because you're too fucking stupid to go do the things that you need to do to secure yourself a fucking paycheck. This is the kind of fucking incompetence that you have to deal with. And then this guy, he's been working for the company for a lot of years, right? Yeah. And he says something, hey guy, I've been working here for 25 years.
So he's not like an intern.
No, he's not an intern. Yeah. He's been there fucking long enough. First of all, if you've been there long enough, you know that this shit's important. You just don't give a fuck anymore. You know what you should do?
Soaking up that money.
Fucking leave.
Please.
I would rather have an intern, because guess what? A fucking intern would have had the goddamn pens and inks.
Probably went above and beyond, and probably brought everybody fucking donuts too.
Fucking, I hate it, man. I fucking hate it.
Can't stand people who can't carry their own fucking weight.
Because all you're doing is just an anchor around everybody else's neck.
Yeah. Fuck.
Give us that outro, Tom. We gotta get off. We gotta get off this shit. I'm gonna lose my fucking
outro. We need this. We need the CCoc.
Don't we play that one again when we leave?
The cinematic circle of.
No, the PSA one. Hit it one more time.
We've never done that.
We haven't?
No, we do.
We do
it. We do it. We do. God damn it. See, this is the first time the drops have been with me.
You know why?
Because
I'm incompetent.
You're incompetent and left your shit elsewhere.
I was working on this shit somewhere else, and that's where my tablet is. So you're there.
Oh, okay.
There's probably just a few seconds before it starts.
That was the PSA.
Brought to you by
The End Time Show. This is a public service announcement.
Hey, there are voices. Brought to you by The Ed and Tom Show.
Dude, you sound just like me. I'm glad nobody watches this shit.
I hope they do.
So we got that cock, right?
No, we don't.
We don't have that cock. So this is where you'd hear dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
I can't even remember what the words say.
Dun, 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 dun.
I can't even remember what the words say.
What do you mean?
What we say in it. The cinematic circle of
Criticism.
Jism.
schism, jism. All right, here we go. We're spinning the proverbial wheel.
You're just gonna do that before we even talk about last week's movie, huh? You know, we
I'll
watched the
do it
movie.
anyway. Oh,
Okay.
yeah, we did watch it. Let me do that first.
This is just going. That right there was exactly how excited you were about this movie.
Yeah,
when it was
not
over.
at all. This
So-
movie was fucking not good.
We watched a movie called John Dies in the End.
Yeah, John dies at the end. Fucking genre of shit, sci-fi.
Sci-fi. It was.
And I was pulled in immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And then it... But the only thing that kept me watching was the title of the movie, John Dies at the End.
John Dies at the End.
Yeah. And so this movie is about this drug, this like otherworldly drug
Called soy sauce.
And this dude has a friend that gets him on this shit, and they start fucking like seeing the future, knowing things. There's no way they would be able to know things. And all of a sudden, this weird shit starts happening.
Insanity.
Dogs driving trucks and talking to dead people on hot dogs, and oh my, it was just fucking weird.
This guy's talking to his buddy on his cell phone. He's like, "Hey, what's going on, man?" And he's like, "Here, let me prove it to you. Go buy a hot dog.
Yeah.
Put it up to your ear." And he takes the phone down and he puts up a hot dog and he's like, "Hello." He's like, "See, I can talk to you through anything." but then the reception starts to break up, and his excuse is the soy sauce is wearing off.
Jesus Christ.
So it ends up being it's like a extra worldly kind of thing.
Yeah, this other dimension trying to cross over into our dimension, and these two people, John and Dave,
Yep.
are the only two that can do it. They can jump into their world and come back. And a lot of shit's happening in our world that is unexplainable. Cops are going around trying to figure it out, and it's just a lot of fucking shit going on that made no sense
The best
whatsoever.
part, the funniest part, is the fact that John, in fact, does not die at the end.
Yeah, I'm just waiting. It's like the end. I'm like, okay, I know it's almost the end.
Like you're waiting like he's gonna hit by a truck.
Credits start rolling, and it's like, John never fucking
Did
died.
you wait till the end of the credits?
I did not watch all the way, but the first part of the credits where it would show something and then go back to a scene, I thought something was gonna happen, like get hit by a truck or fucking brains blown out or something.
Nothing.
Nothing. John does not die at the end.
Which I thought that in itself was comedy. I thought that was hilarious.
That was funny. That was funny. It's like, you fuckers.
You may not have enjoyed it when you watched it.
That's what kept me watching the whole movie. Like, if it was called something else, I would have fucking probably shut it off.
You would have shut it off.
It was, well, no.
It was entertaining.
Being true to the show, I would have watched it all the way through.
Yeah.
But if I was watching it on my own, fuck that.
Nice.
So again, not the worst movie we've had on the show.
Would it have been better with Danny Trejo?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely would have.
Make him John.
John?
Or Dave.
No, I think because then
Or the black cop. Make him the black cop. Or,
No.
Or make him Korok.
No.
Or whatever that alien thing was.
The guy, the Rastafarian guy that gives him the drug in the beginning.
Oh.
I think that could have been Danny, and he could have played the whole cartel thing. Like, hey, I got the new shit. You know, like
I got that soy sauce.
That's my horrible Danny.
Put
Trejo.
on my Trejo taco.
There you go. So I think that's where I would have put Danny Trejo in that one. Agree? Disagree?
I wouldn't see how that would make the movie any worse. So definitely you put him in any position, that movie's better.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe making that Rastafarian character a better character with Danny Trejo and a bigger part of the movie. Oh, most definitely.
There was a tweet on Twitter this week, and it said it was out to Danny, and he's like, "Hey, I'm watching Zombie Hunter. Good so far. Have you seen that one?"
Where he doesn't he die?
Yeah.
Like he's a priest and he ends up being the first person to die. It's like no.
And he's on the cover
The
of
whole
it.
reason I want to watch the movie because Danny Trejo's in it. He's the first one to die. Spoiler alert.
I felt like that moment where this girl tweeted that out, kind of like when we tweeted Brett when we tore into his ass on the show, and we were like, hey, you listened to the show? Yeah, I'm about halfway through. Buckle up. When this lady said that, I was like, oh, you're not very far into the movie, apparently. Before you tweet out an actor and tell him how great the movie is, make sure he doesn't die in the first maybe 20 minutes of the movie. But no, Danny Trejo would definitely make this movie better. The best acting scene was when Paul Giamatti gets scared from the thing in the cage and dives backwards.
Yeah, that thing freaked me out
It
too. He's
did.
like, "Don't look directly at it. Look at it out of the corner of your eye." He does it. I'm like, "Fucking shit!"
It was pretty cool. So
Arachnophobia all over again.
that was it. So,
But hey, just a note on IMDb for people who like this movie:
yeah.
Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
I could see that.
That was probably one of the better movies we put on here.
That one, and I still fucking love Zombievers, man. That shit was so funny. All right, did you spin the wheel?
Spinning the wheel.
This is us spinning the wheel. By the way, I got a pretty cool song this week,
Oh yeah, you do.
just as a little filler.
Yeah, I'm not in this one, but this is a really good. I like it.
Documentary.
So
We've had a lot of success with this genre.
It gives me a reason to watch documentaries.
That's the only reason.
So I'm going to documentaries.
All right. So for those that are unaware, one of the things that I'm forced to do is record a song at the end of the show. So if you're watching it, stick around at the end of the show. And if you did it last week, I gotta hand it to you, Tom. Those fucking ending credits were hilarious.
It was fun doing it. I was knocking back a few brewskis and getting creative with it. It was pretty funny.
The best part was the one that said, soon to be stolen by those Nowlin brothers.
I hope he saw it. I hope he watched it.
Yeah, because that's called original thought. Which he should be back. He should be back in America here pretty soon.
If he isn't already, I know it's pretty soon. Yeah. So,
I imagine he said he was going to reach out to us when he got back. So.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I want to see him and his brother do good.
Did you find something?
Yes. 1.25 star from here.
Ooh, really? You dug that deep, huh?
Yeah, it's called. Oh boy, it's getting ready to play. Hot Girls Wanted. It's a Netflix original. I'm going to read what it states here. This 2015 Sundance Film Festival breakout documentary from producer Rashida Jones spotlights the amateur porn industry and the women it exploits. So we might get a good one here.
Rashida Jones. That's that. I know that name. The Office.
Oh, yeah, and Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec, yeah.
There we go.
She was Jim's girlfriend there for a while, and she moved
Before
away.
Pam said yes.
Before Pam, and then she was on Parks and Rec. She had a big part in that one.
Yeah, I've only watched the pilot episode of Parks and Rec, and she was in it.
I've watched a couple. It's pretty fun. And then she had her own show for a while, I think. I don't know. So,
But she produces the show.
So-
She's not one of the subjects of this documentary.
has she ever done nudity? Has she ever done anything with porn?
I don't know.
Well, while
Rashida Jones.
I'm about to find out.
So, the movie that we will be watching as the Ed and Tom Show and talking about next week is on Netflix, genre of documentary. It's called Hot Girls Wanted, about the amateur porn industry.
So, something that I think that we've never talked about on here, and I don't know why. Hold on. There she is. Is our picks for porn sites. Like, we've talked about a lot of things on this show, but like every guy has their porn sites that they look at. You don't? Or you're not willing to talk about this?
I mean, I'm trying to figure out where you're going with this here.
I'm just literally, that's it. That's not, there's no hidden agenda.
This is what I've never talked about porn sites with a dude. I mean, is that just something?
We're not talking about it with us. We're talking about it to the people because there's a lot of people that go out to sketchy porn sites and they get shit on their phones. They get shit on their computers because they go out and they try to download shit. Because they're.
That's something I never understand. Why download shit? It's
exactly
right there just to watch.
So
I've heard.
And women do it too. So this isn't just a guy thing. Women watch porn.
They got to get their DJ diddle on.
So I will tell you one of my favorites when I need to tug one out and I need something to look at is
Got to rub out that easy one to make mama happy later.
that's I just have to get ready for you to come over. I like to be in a little bit of a relaxed state when you show up, but
That is fucking gross.
xnxx.com, like X is in X-rated, N as in
Napoleon Dynamite.
xx.com. So like xnxs.com. It's a great one. It's just got the little thumbnails. You find something you want and click on it. You got to be careful though. There could be some fucking goofy shit on there. And
Goofy shit,
some
like
goofy shit. Like just name something. Name something.
A reach around from a monkey in the parking lot of Joanne Fabrics.
That might be too specific.
Oh.
But you could come up with other shit. Like you could say a tug job from 2 midgets, and it would be there. you could say a tranny stuff and a manny, and you could see it. It's got everything.
To see that shit.
But it has your normal stuff.
Oh God, that's fucking gross.
RedTube is another one that's very popular.
I've seen RedTube
You've seen the tube of red.
and YouPorn.
YouPorn.
I've heard of these places.
And I brought this up a little bit because when we were talking about was amateur porn, and that's
Yes.
what a lot of these are. There's a lot of amateur stuff, you
It's a
know.
lot of money in these fields.
A lot of money, and then it backs up, and you end up hitting into revenge porn. So this is like guys that get fucked over by their wife or get fucked over by their girlfriend or vice versa, and they just put that shit out on blast.
This bitch just cheated on me, so
Yeah, here's the fuck
her.
video we
Yeah.
made last week. Watch me jizz all over her face, and it gets thrown out there, and people have been getting prosecuted for this now. There was a guy in the UK that actually got a prison sentence out of it, and so it's
Hulk Hogan got some money.
Hulk Hogan got some money.
Some dude tried posting a fucking video, or did post a video of him and his neighbor's wife.
Yeah, the Hulk's over there railing his neighbor's wife, so the neighbor posts the video and gives it to TMZ and another big source, and without checking with him, they just blast it. And Hulk Hogan sued him and ended up with $19 million.
A lotto money.
$19 million. So that being said, Tom, if you ever find a porn video of me, please post it on the internet.
I don't want to give you $19 million.
That would be awesome, though.
I don't have $19 million.
You give me $19.
I have $19.
Okay. Porn.
Really?
All right. So what are we doing next?
I don't know what you were looking up. I
I was trying to see if Rashida Jones did any porn when she was
That's
younger.
probably not real.
Yeah, it all mostly looks fake. It's, yeah.
Mostly those TV show girls don't have any of those dark stories.
Yeah, although the one chick, here's stuff. She's getting double stuff. It's crazy, and they just cut her head.
Photoshop.
Yeah, they cut her head and put it like on a body that might as well be like a white girl on a black body. It's so poorly done.
Oh yeah. So at work, this dude. This was a long time ago. This dude at work, it was like, oh, you see Jennifer Aniston posed nude. I'm like, she's never posed nude. That's one of her things. She will never ever be nude in a movie or anything. And they're like, no, I got a picture right here. And he pulls up a picture, and it was her. But you could totally tell it was fucking just like that.
Just like that.
Just like that fucking. You fucking. That's so disturbing. But it's like a Photoshop person smiling, put on this body, and it's that's not Jennifer Aniston. Just look at her face. It's fucking superimposed.
Here's a picture of Rashida
What
Jones
the fuck is superimposed?
holding a monster that just shotgunned all over her face, just
That's
smiling.
gross. Hey, we got a TNA in the G-Spot question.
All right, let's hear it.
We got one.
I like it.
We got one from Jeff Munley.
I think it's fair to say we have one that we've acknowledged.
Yeah, one that we've acknowledged.
Okay.
So, Jeff asks, Caitlyn Jenner, formerly known as Bruce Jenner?
Yeah, that's him.
Formerly known as Bruce Jenner.
Of fame of the Olympics and the Kardashians, mostly the Kardashians.
Will play in a Pro-Am golf tournament at Mission Hills.
Oh, okay.
Will she tee off from the men's or the women's tees?
Good question. And I think there's some validity to this because...
I don't think there's any question.
Okay.
He's a fucking dude.
Uh-huh. I
Put
agree
him
with
from
you.
the fucking men's tees.
I agree with you.
I don't care if he's fucking lopped off the fucking skin bolt or not.
Then I don't agree with you.
He's still a dude. Whether you have deformed yourself, God made you a dude, or your mother and father made you a dude. However you look at it, scientifically or religiously, you were made a dude. Now you have made changes to your physical appearance to say otherwise. You are still a dude.
I don't think that. I think that if you've done the physical transformation, if you are post-op and you've lopped off the skin bolt and put the banana inside out, you're taking the hormones and you're growing breasts and doing those things, you are now causing your body to turn into a woman's body. And there's ways that you can do that medically and through medication.
But it's fake. It's not real.
But
you are a fake woman. You are absolutely fake, and it's a slap in the face to the creator. It's a slap in the face to your parents. Is it? Oh,
I don't think so.
I'm a woman in a man's body. No, you're fucking not. You're a fucked up dude. You have problems, and you're a dude.
I don't think it has
and
to be
people
that way.
calling it. And what pisses me off the fucking most is we put this fucking dude on national TV, and we gave him a fucking award for being most courageous.
I think
As we got dudes that are fucking getting fucking leukemia and cancer and battling real fucking diseases and coming back from these and then playing at a very high level in football. Eric Berry in case. Not even a nod does he get for fucking being courageous. This fuckstick gets his fucking fuckstick cut off or whatever the fuck he does.
I don't think he's had surgery.
Either way, he's still fucking whatever. He wishes he didn't have one.
No, that's not true. He's talked about whether he's going to fully change or not, and he doesn't. The last I heard, he wasn't actually convinced that he was going to. He just identified that way, but he was happy with his physical.
So you think it's okay just to have these thoughts in your head?
Yeah, if somebody has them, who cares? It's their life.
I don't care, but why are we fucking parading him around and giving him fucking awards? Why?
I think
he's already got gold medals. Keyword: he has already got gold medals in men's categories in the Olympics.
Right.
He is a man. He will forever and always be a man.
Okay, but I think that there has been a shift in our culture and in our society.
Just because it has happened doesn't make it right.
Okay, so are you going to stop talking so I can finish?
It doesn't make it right.
Well, you talking over me doesn't make it right either.
It really bothers me that it really actually does bother me that you see validity in this.
Well, you don't even know that because you haven't let me finish talking. You keep interrupting.
You have said everything pro anti cutting off the skin bolt.
Again, I think that there are people. Here's how I truly believe. You have one life to live. It is yours. When it is over, there's no redo. I don't think that you get to hit the reset button. I don't think you're going to come back as something. I don't. So you have one life to live. So if there's something in your life that bothers you, do something about it. I don't say that that's something that I would do. It's not a personal choice that I would make. It's not something that I have any interest in. It's not something that I would want for myself and my life. And that's the only life that I actually have control over. No matter how much men think that they have control over their wives or wives have control over their men, you have your life to live, and that is it. Once it's over, it's done. If there's something that's bothering you, and if there's something that's holding you back, go do it. It is your right to find happiness wherever you need to find it. And if that means that you feel like you're a woman and you want to turn into one, or you're a girl and you feel like you're a guy and you want to turn into one, and you have the means to do it, go fucking do it. Who cares? It's not bothering me. So I think that there's a lot of kids, I think that there's a lot of teenagers, whether they're gay or lesbian or bi or transgender, that have had to not only live in the closet in their own life, but then when they come out, they have to deal with the bullying, the picking on them, the folks that are just smashing them down and continuing to make their lives miserable. And all they're doing is being true to themselves. And so whether I agree with it or not, whether it's something that I would want to do or not, I think that it's okay for somebody to follow what is in their heart. And I think that especially somebody like Bruce Jenner, who's had success, who has been in the limelight, who was a hero for different reasons, could be a hero to a huge number of people that I don't necessarily agree with, but I can let them be that way, and it's not going to affect me one bit or another. But he can be that for somebody, just like Michael Jordan can be a hero to millions of people, who is a known gambler, who is a known whore, who is a known asshole, but can be a hero to millions of people. I don't agree with it, but if that's what people want to look to, I believe that they should have that right.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, except for the fact that he is letting himself and he's putting himself out there to be paraded around like this fucking freak show that he is. Mm-hmm. I agree. You have one life. Live it the way you want to live it. Live your life. Mm-hmm. Why does he have to be paraded around and given fucking Medal of Honors for things that are just... I don't see how we can call it heroic. I do not see it. I mean, there was this meme on social media that I shared on Facebook a while back, and it was a sign, like you driving down the road and you see this sign for, fucking half off hot dogs or whatever. Mm-hmm. Those little placards that people are changing the letters or whatever.
Right.
It says, just because you're offended doesn't make it right.
Right.
So, yes, I'm not offended. It just angers me that we as an American people, or as a people in general, can celebrate this. I get it, yes. He has battles inside of him. He wants to be something else. Great, do it. Take the fucking camera off of you. There's no fucking place for it. I don't see a place for it at all.
I would tell you there is a place for it, because that's why so many people are tuned in. And the word hero means so many different things to different people.
Fuck it,
and
but
there's people.
ESPN gives him the most courageous. A sports network gives him a courageous award.
I don't agree. I don't agree with
stupid.
I don't agree with the fact that they gave him that award.
It's fucking.
But I would tell you that he is a hero to a lot of people for their reasons. And these are people, you could have somebody, and I think that when you hear the word hero, you probably think of a war hero, or you think of somebody who has come back, and like Eric Berry, you mentioned him, somebody who could be an inspiration in that way. And just as strong as inspiration as they can be, somebody like Caitlyn Jenner can be an inspiration for others, and it'd be okay for them. Not for me, but for them. And I'm fine with that. Now, where should he tee off from? He needs to tee off from the men's, because otherwise I'm going to pull an Eric Cartman, and every time I go fucking golfing, I'm going to slap on a pink hat and say, I identify as a woman. Now put me on the women's tees, because I could drive the fuck out of the ball, especially from the women's tees. And so that's the reason why I think it's got to be the guys' tees, because I would exploit that every time me and Jeff and Brent and you go golfing. I would be fucking wearing a pink bow, teeing off from the ladies' tees.
And a thong.
So that's where we are with that.
Where are you going to put your ka-ching coins?
I have a spot.
Ooh, you can keep those coins. And let it be known, this is my opinion only. I'm not speaking for anybody else. So if I offended you, it doesn't mean I'm right.
If you offended him, fuck him.
I don't give a fuck if I offended you at all. I'm just saying it's my opinion. And if I offended you, it doesn't mean that I think I'm right. I feel I'm right, but that is my opinion.
Right.
My opinion only.
Right, and I think, and that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to give our opinions and fuck the rest of them. And you can identify, and that's one of the cool things, is because sometimes when we hang out with our listeners, they'll come up to you and they'll be like, "Hey, that shit that you were talking about, man, I fucking totally agree with you. Ed was a dickhead."
Ed was an idiot, or vice versa. Vice versa. Like, man, dude, I'm on Ed on this one. Yeah. I'm like, what?
We're not supposed to be agreeable. We're not supposed to be cordial with each other. That's why we fucking hate each other most of the time.
Yeah. If I wanted to be cordial with you or whatever, I'd put a fucking dress on and lop off my skin bolt. And then I'd get a fucking award and they'll pin it on my chest and I'll be paraded downtown.
I would clap for you like this.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, look, Tom, we are going to end this show early.
What?
Yeah.
Holy shit, we're still going to probably hit 2 hours.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 159.10 or 158.10, so it's not like you're getting off the hook here, guys.
No.
But we're going to get out of here because we got shit to do. We got to get this shit put out. We got to get it published. We got big things popping off on this week. Saturday night, come check out Eddie Zandici with us out at the Mars Comedy Club.
Yeah, 6:30, Mars Comedy Club inside Hawaiian Brian's.
It's $15 cover at the door, and this is the money that you're going to be doing to help support these guys. So look at it this way. If you go out there and you laugh, that $15, you just bought those guys a drink. And, take that, to me, that's worth it.
Come hang out with us.
Yeah.
We're going to be there.
Well, we'll be there, and we can talk about your skin bolt if you'd like.
Yeah, or how you've chosen to fucking lop it off.
But you got to drop. You got to drop to get us out of here?
Yes. Don't forget, watch, what movie we're watching. Oh, Hot Girls Wanted on Netflix.
Hot Girls Wanted.
Hot Girls. And send us them fucking questions for TNA and the G-Spot at the Ed and Tom Show at gmail.com or the dickheads at the Ed and Tom Show.com.
Just dickheads.
Or dickheads at the Ed and Tom Show.com or the Ed and Tom Show at gmail.com.
And you could send them to me at theedandtomshow.com or Tom at theedandtomshow.com. You can post them on social media, throw it up on Twitter at The Ed and Tom Show. You could hit us up on Instagram, or you could just drown me out with this music, because this shit is dope.
No one wants to fucking hear.
We out of here, baby.
We on them Twitters. Stay tuned for at the end of the show on YouTube. You'll hear the song and see the credits. And at this podcast, you'll hear Eddie Rock lay down a sick track.
Little fat track. Had to go back to my roots, baby. Had to get back to them old okie dokies from the artichokies. Now we're holding hands. This is actually a lot weirder than one.
Oh, it seems to me this damn world's gone crazy. There's too much hate and killing going on. But when I see the bare chest of a woman, my worries and my problems are all gone. No one thinks of fighting when they see a topless girl. Baby, if you would show yours too, we could save the world. Show them to me, show them to me. Unclasp your bra, set those puppies free. They'd look a whole lot better without that sweater, baby, I'm sure you'll agree. If you got 2 fun bags, show them to me. Now I don't care if they don't match or one's bigger than the other. You can show me one, I'll imagine the other. Even if you're really old, there's nothing wrong. Don't be sad, your boobs ain't bad, they're just a little long. Show them to me, show them to me. Lift up your shirt and let the whole world see. Just disrobe, show your globes, and a happy man I'll be. If you got those chichis, show them to me. I've met a lot of them, but never one I've hated. Even if you've had 13 kids and you think they look deflated, there's no such thing as a bad breast. I believe this much is true. If you're a big fat man, I'm a titty fan, and I'd love to see yours too. Show them to me, show them to me. Just like the girl gone wild on TV. Just lean back, show your rack, and I'll be in ecstasy. If you got 2 cassabas, show them to me. all the world will live in harmony. It'll do you good and it'll give me wood and we'll make history. If you love your country. Tom, I'm gonna say that one more goddamn time. I said if you love your country, yeah, then stand your ass up and show them big old titties to me, yeah. Yeah. Ooh.